Episode 6.
He ordered. James bowed and walked out briskly. The whole day went by with James and some of his warriors searching, but it was all to no avail. Liam was utterly pissed by the time he arrived at the Crimson Pack Hall for the party. There were a lot of beautiful damsels making gestures and throwing themselves at him. It made him laugh when he thought of the countless number of ladies that thought they could tame and mate him, only to end up becoming obsessed over his cock and getting tossed aside when he became tired of them. There were some pretty ones that caught his imagination as the party was ongoing, and he decided that if he couldn't find the brown-haired lady, he would take out his frustration on them in bed instead. Liam didn't care for Alpha Shane but was impressed by the glamour of the party. Shane was powerful and ruthless, but not as powerful or ruthless as him. Yet Liam knew that he had to be checked lest he grew wings and became pompous. After all, Crimson had been close allies with the pack he had just smitten. Another thing that further increased Liam's contempt for the arrogant Shane was that he only cared about his position and not his pack members. Every powerful man knew that to truly succeed, one had to be careful about the people one surrounded himself with. Shane didn't care. Rumour had it that it was his mate who looked out for the pack members. Liam found it disgusting. He hated the word mate. He could never have one or leave his pack in the hands of a female. He only saw them as free fox. Tired of the galore, he was ready to call it a night when the anchor said, "And on a final note, let's have some closing remarks for Crimson's adorable Luna, Nicole Mallory." Cheers and applause echoed around the hall. At once, Liam was curious to see the so-called Luna. He watched as she climbed the stage, adorned in a pale green sheath gown that lapped her curves and complemented her eyes. He heaved a sigh when he recognized her. Fuck. She looked glorious, and all thoughts of having any other lady that night vanished. His wolf began to rampage within him. Liam wanted her, and he didn't care if she was another person's mate. He watched her every movement, his eyes ravishing her body. He hardly heard anything that she had said. All he saw was her moaning beneath him as he buried himself within her until he finally forgot about her. When she was done speaking, she went through the backstage. Liam immediately got to his feet and followed her scent until he found her in the dressing room behind the stage. He crept up on her. She didn't notice him because she was too busy crying. He sighed in irritation. There was nothing he hated more than weaklings. "We meet again," he growled. She jumped back, her hazel eyes bulging out. On recognizing him, pain flashed through her eyes. "You," she sputtered, clutching her breasts. Liam sucked his teeth. Was she intentionally seducing him, on realizing that he was also the notorious Alpha of Dark Moon Pack? She gasped and fear pulled out of her pores. Liam chuckled darkly, reveling in her fear. "You're as ruthless as they say," she sneered, getting to her feet. Liam growled. He hated the irritation and hatred for him that flashed in her eyes. He was aroused, but she wasn't. She seemed to detest him. Growling again, he grabbed her into his arms. His mouth automatically found his mark above her breasts and sucked it. Her breath ceased for a moment. He chuckled. "You're coming home with me." "Never," she retorted, her breath heavy, her eyes fluttering open and closed. "This is my pack. I'm the Luna." Liam smirked. "We shall see," he said, letting go of her. He was surprisingly pleased as the scent of her arousal swarmed the room as he returned to his place in the pack hall. He had come up with a simple plan. Immediately after the event was over, he was going to bargain for her with Shane, and if he refused him, he was going to bring hell to Crimson. Luna or not, she was his. When he got her, he was going to use every means to break the spell she had over him, and when that spell was broken, he was going to toss her aside. It was a perfect plan that made him smile.
Full story is available at novelpalace.com. Click the link in the comment section to get it free.